connection every time. Static chain speed is going to use the same connection every time. Okay, I will come to that one later on. Once I show you guys how it is working, then I will explain. So just uncomment this dynamic chain and comment out this static chain. Okay, and just go down below, go to the last line. Go to the last line, and here you will find that you have support for SOX proxy. Okay, SOX version 4 is supported, so you need to add another version, that is SOX 5, to make it support SOX 5 version as well. So, and then you can just type the same thing, 127.0.0.1, and the port number is 9050. Just type it like this. Okay.
What is user SOX?
SOX is different kind of proxy algorithm. Okay, SOX 4 is one of that algorithm, and SOX 5 is another algorithm. Okay, now you can add the support for both the algorithms right over here. One of the is already added. You add the SOX 5 version as well. Save it, exit it, Control S, Control X to save and exit. Okay. Once you have done that, and since our Tor service is running, we can start our own proxy over here, right? Now, to use this proxy, keep in mind this is a software proxy. Software proxy means your complete system is not gonna get a different public IP. Okay, only those software programs will get a different public IP, which I am opening using this proxy chains configuration. Okay, so to open Firefox, what I will do, I will just type proxy chains Firefox. Okay, so only Firefox will be using a different public IP, not your complete system. Okay, so once I hit enter, so Firefox has opened up. Now we can go ahead and check our IP addresses. We can go to DuckDuckGo basically. So I'll just go to DuckDuckGo because let's see, search with DuckDuckGo. So I'm gonna search with DuckDuckGo. What is my IP? Because I'm not using Google. The reason is because if you do this with Google, then it is going to ask you whether you are a human or a robot. Okay, every time you try to send a request. Here it is. Okay, so I think we are in United Kingdom. Okay, if I zoom it in, I think we are in United Kingdom. IP address is unavailable, as you can see. And let us check our IP addresses over here. Let's see what public IP addresses we have got and where we are right now. So as you can see, my public IP address has changed. This is not my actual public IP address. My actual public IP address was 122 something, right? But as we can see, and we are in something glucose. Anyway, we are inside in England and we are inside UK. All right, got it, guys? So basically, anyone tracking us, any kind of attack that you are doing with the help of this Firefox browser, then all those attacks will happen using this public IP address. All right, so anyone trying to backtrace us will be difficult to backtrace us. Okay, it is not impossible.
It will keep on changing.
It will keep on changing. Not at this point of time. Once you get out of this, once you try it once again, the public IP will change. Okay. One more problem over here is, guys, please, one more thing. There is a big myth surrounding this particular thing that you can actually become completely anonymous. Okay, but that is not the truth. Okay, if any government organization is trying to catch you, then they eventually will catch you. Okay, because whatever you are doing on the internet, whether you are changing your IP address, whether you are doing any kind of an attack, whether you are trying to be anonymous, everything is getting registered somewhere. Okay, your IP address, your public IP address, okay, everything is getting registered somewhere. And if the government authorities are trying to locate you, if you have done something grave, then definitely they will be able to locate you. Okay, now you might have heard stories about this hacker did not get caught. Okay, now those stories, they have other things in the background. Okay, they are government supported hackers. They get supported by someone else, as a result of which they do not get penalized. Okay, but if you ask the police officials, they already know who did that attack. Okay, but they do not have the authority to arrest that particular person. Okay, so that is the issue over here. You cannot be 100% anonymous. Okay, this level of anonymity, ये जो मैंने अभी तुम लोग को यहाँ पे दिखाया है, this is really good. Okay, कोई भी इसको ट्रैक नहीं कर पाएगा, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या है? It is not impossible to track. It is possible to track if you have done something grave, and if the government authorities are involved in it, then definitely they will track you.
Can a normal person?
No, they can't track you. normal person, normal company, even if Microsoft wants to crack you, it is not possible. Only if government officials wants, then only it is possible. Otherwise, no. Okay. All right. Using proxy chains and all, because they are only supported for IPv4. Okay. Another option that we can use is by using a tool called Kalitorify. Now this tool is really good. Okay, you don't have to do anything, and it is very much dynamic in nature. Every time you try to browse something, your IP address is going to change. Your public IP address is going to change. That is the first thing. And the other is that it is also supported. It also supports IPv6. So just search for Kalitorify. Okay, just search for Kalitorify. Now, once you Google Kalitorify, you will get the link in the first link itself. Okay, just go to GitHub. Okay, and this is your tool over here. Now, what we are gonna do, we are gonna just click on this code. Okay, you can download the zip file if you want, or you can copy the URL. So I will just copy the URL over here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go to a separate directory here. If I have, okay, so I'm just make a separate directory. You don't have to do a separate directory though. And here we will just type git clone and paste the URL over here. Okay, the URL that we had copied from here, we are just gonna paste it. From here you can copy the URL. Once you have done with the copy, you can open the terminal and type git clone and then paste the URL over here. Okay, now to paste the URL over here, either you can do a right click and paste to paste selection, okay, or paste option over here, or what you can do in the terminal, you can do Control Shift V to paste it directly. All right, Control Shift V to paste it directly. Once that is done, hit enter. Okay, and it has basically cloned the project. Okay, now if you do an ls, you can see here we have the folder called Kalitorify. Okay, now keep in mind, guys, in the previous technique, what was happening, we were basically using Firefox via that proxy chains. Now while we are doing that, only Firefox was able to access the proxy chains service, right? Rest of the device was not involved in that, right? But in this scenario, in Kalitorify, and here we have kalitorify.sh, and here we have the make file. So what we will do, we'll just type this command sudo make install. What this is going to do, this is going to install Kalitorify in your machine. Once you hit enter, and the installation is complete. All right, now once the installation is complete, you can start Kalitorify from anywhere. Okay, from here, if I type sudo, now okay, one more thing, you need to stop the Tor service first before starting the Kalitorify. Okay, so sudo Tor service Tor stop. Okay, once the service is stopped, now we can start Kalitorify with a sudo command, sudo Kalitorify -t. Okay, sudo Kalitorify -t to start. Once you hit enter, it will start up Tor by itself, and it's going to start Kalitorify. All right, so we have a public IP address of this, okay, at this point of time, okay, and we are in Bucharest. All right, this is our organization. This is my location, that is my latitude and longitude, okay, and here we have the time zone, Europe, okay. But if you try to check that online now, say for example, if I go to DuckDuckGo again, okay, and here if I search for what is my IP, Okay, as you can see, once again, IP address is unavailable. If I check the IP address from here, as you can see, my address has changed again, right? We are inside France now, and here is my public IP address. Right? If I try to check it by some other means, let's say for other from other addresses, say कोई दूसरे service के through से अगर मैं इसको check करने की कोशिश करूँ, let's try to check what public IP address we have. Don't expect same IP address. As you can see, again it has changed. We are inside Germany now. We were before inside France. Now we are in Germany. And okay, again the IP address has changed. We are inside Amsterdam now. Okay, so it's gonna change dynamically.
So which one is stronger?
Which one means?
The proxy chain or this one?
This one. Okay, because every time it hops. Okay, the IP address is gonna hop. All right. Now to close Caledonia, now keep in mind this is system-wide proxy chains. Okay, so if you are gonna perform any kind of task or anything that you are doing outside the browser, that will also go through Caledonia. All right. So to stop Caledonia, -C. Okay, Caledonia -C, and it will stop the proxy. All right. So this is the way how you can hide your IP addresses. All right. Fine. Minimize this once. Wait a minute. Let's do one thing. Let's check if Nessus is available at this point of time. I think the server might be up. Let me just check once. I'm going to use Caledonia to use as a proxy here and change the public IP address. Yes, it will get slow. While we are at it, we will take a look at the working of Caledonia and how these things work. Just a moment. This is going to happen whenever you do a Google search. No matter how many crosswalks you choose, you are still going to be a robot. Fire hydrant. I'm just gonna skip this part. I'm gonna go to DuckDuckGo. Search with DuckDuckGo. I'm gonna search for Nessus, and also I'm gonna search for temp mail. Temp mail. So I'm going to copy this email address. I can use this mail address as well. So let's go for Nessus try, and we will try to register over here. John test started. You can see the price over here. They have mentioned the price over here. It's near about 3 lakhs. Okay, per year. Phone is 77777777, whatever. Next title is whatever. Company is whatever. Company size is whatever. Start my trial. Let's see if it works. No. Use a work email address. Okay. So this temp mail is not gonna work. We need to use some other temp mail.
What information we get from this from the network?
Which one?
Using this Nexus.
Nessus, it will basically try to figure out any kind of vulnerabilities are present in your devices or not. Okay, which can be exploitable. So those things Nessus is gonna find out.
The IP address, the public IP address. So
yes,
it will check the whole network and all the devices connected to it.
Yes. Okay, so I think there is some kind of an issue with the Nessus server, so we will look at it later on. So I'm just gonna close this. All right, now Nessus is gonna do the same task.
Zoom out. My screen got zoomed in.
Give it,
By mistake, I pressed Control plus equal to and it got zoomed in and not getting zoomed out.
Oh. You pressed control.
Control equal to. If you again press it again, it will zoom further. But it's not getting zoomed.
Here.
Disclose or the okay. Only.
All right. Fine. So I'll just stop this. Now, Nessus is going to do the same thing that we are going to do over here using Nmap. Okay. Now, the tool what we are going to use over here for scanning any kind of a public IP address is Nmap, right? Public IP or private IP address within the same network, right? Now, before moving forward, we need to figure out one thing, like if you are doing any kind of a network penetration testing within the same network, you need to first of all figure out your targets, right? Which are the IP addresses that are currently connected and online at this point of time, right? Now, there are two ways to do that. One of the ways by using a tool called NetDiscover, and another way is by creating your own tool by Python. Okay, I prefer the latter one, but we will see both of them. Okay, so are you guys familiar with Python? Any idea? Okay, fine, that's good. So what we are going to do, we are going to just type 3 lines of code in Python. That will be enough. So anyway, before moving ahead, let's see NetDiscover over here, right? So what I can do over here is, if I want to check all the IP addresses, say if I check my own IP address, it is 10.32, 192.168.10.32. Now, if I use NetDiscover over here, what it is going to do, it is going to find out all the IP addresses which are connected with the same network, right? So what I will do, I will just type sudo netdiscover. Hit enter, and it will start scanning all the IP addresses. Okay, it will start scanning all the IP addresses. So as you can see, it has discovered a few of them, right? Now we can see that we already have the IP addresses, the MAC addresses, okay, and also we also have the NIC providers, right? NIC means Network Interface Card Manufacturer name, okay. So that is also available over here, right? So I'm just gonna do Control C. Now, if you do NetDiscover, if you run simply NetDiscover, then what it is gonna do, it is gonna scan each and every network over here, as you can see, with a CIDR value of 16. Before it was 24. It is gonna scan the complete network. You can imagine if the CIDR value is 16, you see the implementation. Why I taught you guys CIDR value? This is the implementation. If you look at the CIDR value, it is 16. That means how many hosts it is going to scan? 2 to the power of 16, 65,535 hosts it is going to find out first. Okay, so it is going to send ARP packets. This is address resolution packet. Okay, what is ARP packet? Address resolution protocol is basically a protocol through which you can map IP addresses and their MAC addresses. All right. So that is the protocol that it is using. But what it is doing, it is going to send it to 65,565 hosts and wait for their response. So as many devices respond, all of them will get listed down over here. That means they're online. If they're responding, they're online, right? But there is other way to minimize your scanning. What you can do, this is going to scan the whole company network from 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255, complete public private IP address. We don't want that, right? What we want is specific, right? So what we can do, sudo netdiscover. Wait, before running this, if I do an if config, we can see this is our interface. Okay, this ET80 is our interface, Ethernet interface, where we have our private IP address, right? So what we can do sudo netdiscover -i, that is interface. We can mention ET80, otherwise it is also going to scan other interfaces. So I'm just going to mention that I'm going to use this interface space, and here what we can do, we can mention the IP address range over here, 192.168.10.0/24 in my case. Okay, So if I hit enter, okay. So I think you have to give -R over here. Yes, -R. You hit enter and it is gonna scan only IP addresses that are within this network. Got it? As you can see, it is finished and here we have our result. Is it clear? You can save this result in a text file as well. What we will do, we'll perform this task and give a greater than sign, okay, and give a name of a file, say for example res.txt. Okay, so you need to wait for some time. I think that was enough. So if I do an ls,
it was 16 CIDR value. Now it is 24. So it will have more number of devices.
No, that is not true, because it actually depends upon the way your network is designed. If your network is designed using /24, then obviously /16 the IP addresses do not exist. Okay, so that is the problem. That is the thing. So if you have /24 in your network, then /24, you use /24. All right. If you want to save the result in a file, this is how you can do it. Okay. I'm going to remove this result for the time being. Okay. Now, this is one of the way you can use discover, or what you can do, you can create your own tools. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Python over here to create one. So I'm going to start with nano. So nano, say find.py. I'm just going to give a name find.py over here. And in here, what we are going to do, we are going to first of all import scapy. Scapy is a module in Python, which helps, which is basically network module in Python, which will help us to send ARP packets. So scapy.all as scapy. I'm going to import scapy.all as scapy. And then I'm going to take a user input over here. So input, we can say like, enter the IP address range. Okay, so I'm gonna just make it look like a tool. Enter the IP address range, and this is where the user will give the IP address range. Now, once the user has given the IP address range, I'm gonna use scapy.arping, that is sending ARP packets to all the complete range. Okay, whatever the user is given. That's it. So I'm gonna save this and exit it. Now here we have the Python file, right? So we can just run it by using Python. Now you need sudo permission over here, sudo python and find.py. It will take some time. Enter the IP address range. I can give my IP address range over here, 10.0/24. You can see it is sending 256 packets, and here is the result. Okay, so this is another way. Okay, a little bit faster compared to your net discover, and since this is your tool, obviously you can modify it, you can do whatever you want with it. Is it clear, guys? Clear? Okay, and here is the code if you guys want to take a snap of it. Okay, all right, just 3 lines.
It won't work in my desktop.
Which one?
This one.
Why it will not? It will also work in Windows also.
No. For that, I do not have that one.
But this is on your
Which one do you do not have?
For that base one.
Oh yeah, not at the moment, but you can do this in your Windows. Okay, this will work in Windows as well. That is the best part. NetDiscover is not going to work in Windows, but this is going to work in Windows as well. Okay, it's the same way. But if you want to use this in Windows, there is a catch. Okay, let me just show you guys. Like if you guys are will be using Windows, so don't worry, guys. If anybody told you that real hackers will use Kali Linux, then don't believe them. Okay, so we actually do use Windows a lot. Okay, you won't imagine. We all say that Windows is, a very weak operating system security wise, but that is not true. People who are just starting with the cybersecurity field generally tend to say these things, and they will tell you that Linux is much more secure, but that is not true. From my experience, and if you ask a experienced or seasoned cybersecurity professional, he will definitely tell you that Windows is much secure than Linux. Okay, hacking a fully patched Windows, it's a hell of a task. Okay, it is very difficult. It is not that easy. Okay, if you have Windows Defender switched on over here, or maybe if you are using Windows endpoint security, okay, which comes in enterprise level security, okay, it is pretty much very difficult to bypass the antivirus there. Very difficult to bypass, but it is not impossible. You can definitely bypass it, but it is very, very difficult. You need to understand so many things, and you need to have to know how the antivirus is working, and you have to know a little bit of system programming as well. Then you can modify your payloads according to your will, and then you can bypass the antivirus. It's difficult, very difficult compared to your Linux, which is much, much easier. Just install a random, vulnerable software, and it can be hacked easily. Okay, so anyway, so I'm going to show you guys how you can perform the same task in Windows as well. Now, to do this thing in Windows, first of all, that you are going to need over here is you're going to need something called PCAP. Okay, because Windows does not, allow native packet capturing. Okay, sending ARP packets, capturing the request. Windows does not support that by default. So what you are going to need, you're going to need PCAP. Okay, sorry, not PCAP, my mistake. You need to use NPCAP, I guess. NPCAP. Yeah, NPCAP you're gonna need. Wait, packet capture library for Windows. Okay, or you can also use WinPCAP as well. Okay, you can either use NPCAP or you can use WinPCAP. Okay, anyone you guys can use. I will recommend use WinPCAP. Okay, WinPCAP, we can download this from here. Okay, just download the official version installer for Windows. Keep, install it. Once you have installed it, now you are good to go. Just go ahead and wherever you want to save this file, you can do it. So I'm gonna just open this folder up. VS Code. Okay, I'm gonna create a file over here. I'm gonna name this as find.py. Which one? Screen sharing? It came?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Now in find.py, what we are going to do, we are going to first of all go to terminal, open a new terminal. Basically, you can do this by using just typing cmd. Okay. What we will do, we'll install Scapy first. Pip install Scapy. That is fine. So it is successfully installed. Now, once the installation is done, we can go ahead and write the same code over here. Import Scapy.all as Scapy. Don't worry about the errors. N equals to input. Enter. We can just make it a little bit designed. Enter your IP address range. Okay. And Scapy.arping. And pass on the complete thing over there, right? So it's done. Now you can run this directly from VS Code, or you can run it with the help of CMD as well. So I'm gonna reveal in File Explorer. So here is my file. Okay, just open up CMD from here, and here we have Python find.py. Okay. It will come up some as you can see, Blowfish has been deprecated, and they will tell you this and that. Anyway, don't worry. Enter your IP address range. So I'm going to give my IP address range over here. Okay, as we can see, working in Windows as well, right? Okay.
This method is only used to like which servers are online to check.
Correct, in the same network. All right, so once that has been done, we can use either NetDiscover or your own tool over here. Now, once you have identified your target, we can perform a scanning over there, right? Now, let us see how we can perform scanning using Nessus, okay? Now, I think it won't be over by today. It is going to take some time. All right. Now, I will always recommend, first of all, you become a root user, okay? And then you perform this scanning, okay? Now, one by one, I will go. Nmap, the command that we can give nmap and then give a space, and then give your IP address. Okay, it can be any IP address for that matter. Okay, say for example, let's try some public IP addresses over here. Let's say if I go to Shodan, don't worry, I will show you guys all this stuff, what Shodan is and what kind of thing that it has. Wait a minute, I'm just gonna look for a public IP address through which I can get some results. Let's take example of Telnet if I want to search. So let's take this public IP address over here. It's in China, 47.108.43.15. Okay, so I'm gonna check this IP address, hit enter, and Nmap will start scanning that particular IP address for any kind of vulnerabilities and open port numbers. Okay, so it is gonna check for all the open port numbers over here. Same stuff can be performed for Windows as well. Okay, now we do not know what kind of operating system is running over there, or Windows or Linux, we don't know. Nessus will help us to identify and gather information regarding that IP address. Okay. As we can see, we have 3 ports open. One is port 80, maybe some kind of a web page is running over there. We have port 443, definitely some kind of a web page is running over there, and 1935. All right. Okay. Now let's try to scan some other IP address. Say this is a public IP address, obviously, and if I want to scan any public any IP address within my network, just a minute, guys. All right, guys. So I'm gonna minimize this. Okay.
Nessus and does the same in my
Nessus does it much better. Okay. Now, if I compare, these are the only 2 tools that we use in enterprise level as well. Okay. First of all, the way of approach is, first of all, what we do, we scan the network by using NSS first. Okay. Now, whatever vulnerabilities and whatever port numbers or whatever things that it has found out, we verify it using Nmap. Okay. So we use both of them simultaneously.
How to know which is a vulnerability?
Basically, they will tell you that this is vulnerable. Okay. Nonetheless, there are many situations where you will get false positives that you need to check, and there are situations where you will get negatives, false negatives as well. Vulnerability नहीं है, vulnerability है लेकिन फिर भी बोलेगा patched है. You need to manually check it. Wait. Okay. Right. So we can further scan a we can further scan a private IP address over here. Let's see what private IP address we have got here discovered. Let's see if I can scan a particular IP address in the same network. So I'm going to use -ETH0 and I'm going to use the range 192.168.
Is it possible to say how
192.168, 192.168, 10.0/24. Yes.
Is it possible to say how a vulnerability is detected?
You will see.
And then further what we have to do with the
Don't worry, this is just a scanning part. Step by step I will come. How you can detect a vulnerability and how you can basically manually verify it. Okay, I will show all of it, all the things. Don't worry. So from here we do have certain IP addresses over here. We can scan any one of them. I don't know which one is which. So I'm just gonna scan any one of them. Let's say this is mine. Okay, let's try to look at this one. Don't worry, these are not clouds. These are windows only. Okay, so this is what happens basically sometimes. So I'll just give it say nmap, and I'll just give a IP address over here. Maybe they have their firewall switched on. Now by default, Windows firewall does not allow ping. Okay, for that reason, nmap might say that the device is down. I don't know. Let's see. How to bypass that? We will also see that. One by one, I will come. Don't worry. Okay, so we can see that yes, we do have certain services running over here, 6646 and 6681. Okay, some kind of a BitTorrent service is running over there. Okay, torrent is running there. Okay, all right. Now other devices are out there. Say for example, if I say 31, let's check 31.
So MAC address is of no use, no?
MAC addresses
Of any use for any outside?
At this point of time, no. MAC addresses are used in a different type of attacks. Okay.
And within a network, man in the middle attack is also possible, right?
That is where basically MAC addresses come into use. We basically do ARP spoofing, or you can say ARP poisoning. Some scans will take time, guys. Okay. Some scan do take time. I will also show you guys how to do a faster scan. Okay, sometimes scans can take near about 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, depends what it is scanning. Okay, now we can make this faster. Okay, because at industrial level, when you are working in cybersecurity, you will have limited amount of time. Okay, and in that time period, you need to give results. So if you have, say, it happens all the time. Like say, for example, you have to scan 100 IP addresses and you need to submit it by 2 or 3 days. If you start scanning them one by one like this, it is never going to end. Okay, it will take you the full year to scan all the IP addresses. And some of the IP addresses will take near about 4 to 5 hours to scan. Okay, now there are ways to shorten your scan duration and also to be pretty much accurate what your scan results are coming. There are different ways. I will come. Okay, first of all, we are starting with the basic things.
The active IP address, you can also date of denial attack also, you can do, no? DDoS.
Distributed denial of service attack. Yes, you can do if you have an IP address, but it's not that much beneficial. I will tell you why it is not that much beneficial. If you actually want to perform denial of service attack, then it is not recommended to use the conventional technique of sending multiple packets at the same location. Okay, that was used few years back, like 10 years back. But nowadays, DOS attack does not happen in that way. Nowadays, you can actually perform DOS attack with the help of a mobile or with the help of a laptop, just a single laptop. How? First of all, you need to figure out if there is any kind of a buffer overflow vulnerabilities there. If you find such kind of vulnerability there, you can basically leverage that vulnerability to pull down the complete system just by using a simple command. Okay. So if you do not have that vulnerability, that is a different issue. But most of the DDoS nowadays happens in that way. Okay, they find zero-day vulnerabilities in it. They find vulnerabilities in binary files, and then they try to exploit it.
Can I tie it on my own device that is connected to different network?
Your device will hang, first of all. It will stop
my
working.
device, I'm trying with other device that is that also belongs to me only, but connected. to
Yes,
others.
you can do. You can try.
But my
Both the system
not
will get
very
hanged.
efficient, no?
No, I think if you try the traditional way, both the system will start hanging. You will soon see. I will tell you guys about this one. Okay, we'll soon see that once I start that attack, all the online users won't be able to hear my voice and see the screen. Okay, the system will start to hang. Just a moment.
দোকানে গিয়ে একটা ওষুধ খেলে কাজ হয়ে যায়। দোকানে গিয়ে একটা ৫ টাকার ওষুধ খেলেই হয়ে যায় কাজ। দিনে আলো বের করবি। দিনে আলো সার্ভিস হতে যাচ্ছে। দশ তো দশ দশ। আজ থেকে ভার্চুয়াল মেশিন ইনস্টল করবে, এবার পুরো গিগ দেবো। 16 গিগ আছে, আপনার 6 মানে হ্যাং করে। 6 থেকে 8 পর্যন্ত তো কম ইউজ করে, কম সফটওয়্যার ইউজ করে। 6 to 8 জিবি হবে। 1.9 খালি হচ্ছে দুটোই খুলেছিল, প্যারেন্ট আর ওটাই উপরে আলো খুলবে, আমার ইয়েটা প্যাকেটটা খুলবে, তো আমার তাও ফালতু করি প্যাকেট করবো না, একটাই ভালো বেশি স্পেস দিয়ে ভালো করে চালাবো। একটা ব্রিজ বানাচ্ছিল না, একটা ব্রিজ বানাচ্ছিল ভার্চুয়াল মেশিনের নাম এটা বুঝিয়ে দেয়, বুঝলে ভার্চুয়াল মেশিনের নাম এটা ডিলিট করবে, ফাইলটা ডিলিট অফাইল করবে না, ফাইলটা থেকেই যাবে, ফাইলটা থেকেই যাবে। ওকে তো ওকে ক্যান্সেল করে দেবে। ওকে ওখানে একটু শক্তি হবে ফোনটা, এটা ওখানে রিমুভ করবি, ডিলিট অল ফাইলস, তুই এটা রিমুভ হলে করবি শুধু সই অল ফাইলস হবে না। এবার এটা এই ভার্চুয়াল মেশিন ইনস্টল, এটা দেখ আপনার আপডেট হয়ে যাবে, শুধু বিএন ভার্চুয়াল মেশিনটাই পাবে। ওটাই আপডেট করছি, ওটাকে ডিলিট করতে লাগে না, এখান থেকে ইনস্টল করি আপনার রিপ্লেসে আপডেট হয়ে যাবে। তো ওটার মধ্যে অনেক ভালো ভালো কোনো ফাইল নয় ছিল না, এটা ইনস্টল করে ফাইলটা বাড়িয়ে দিয়ে করেছি, অনেক বড় 4 জিবি ফাইল, টাইম লাগে। আধা কমপ্লিট করে চলে যাবে, সব স্পেসটা আমি হিডেন ফাইলে ঢুকে যাবে, তো জায়গাটা ক্লিয়ার করে দেবে। তো কোনো ডাউনলোড হতে হতে পজ করে দিস না, ওটা হিডেন ফাইলে ডক ফাইলের ভেতরে পড়ে থাকে, জানিস ওটা ঠিক বুঝতে পারবে না কোথায় না কোথায় পড়বে। আমার কম 10-15 মিনিট পেয়েছে, ঠিক আছে কোনটা বললো এখানে আমার তো এই সময় আমার ছিল না, হ্যাঁ আসছিল, ঠিক আমার এই পেনড্রাইভে দিয়ে দেবো তো ফাইলটা, ঠিক আছে ওই ওবিএ ফাইল 4 জিবি যে কোনো জায়গায় ফাইলে, যে ফাইলে সব ফাইল জিনিস স্টোর করবে। কি নাম? আচ্ছা I usually want to download the virtual machine app. First হয়ে যায় ইনস্টলেশন, পিসিতে সেটিংটা দেখে বুঝে যেতাম।
এর মধ্যে একটু ভার্চুয়াল বেশি চলে আসে একটু চলে আসে আমি দুটো চলে আসে
কোনটা আর দুটো শর্টকাট, এটা দুটো ভার্চুয়াল মেশিন আছে এখানে সার্চ করা।
এই শর্টকাট কি
দুটোই শর্টকাট, এই যে টিক সাইন যেগুলো ওগুলো শর্টকাট বলে। হ্যাঁ, তুই একটা জিনিসের 10টা শর্টকাট বানাতে পারি। এই তো ডিলিট, হ্যাঁ পাতা শর্টকাট ফাইল বলে দুটো চলে আসছে। আমাকে আবার ইনস্টল করতে হবে বুঝলে না? আমি এখানে করবো না, এসএসডি তে দেবো, তাহলে ফাস্ট হবে। 550 তুই এসএসডি তে ফাইলটা বানাস, মানে তোকে যে ফাইলটা দেবো এটা কপি পেস্ট করবে এসএসডি তে।
আমি এইচডিডি তে বলতে কিন্তু এইচডিডি মানে ফাংশনাল থেকে পরে আপনি
এইচডিডি বলছিলাম, ভুল করবো।
এইচডিডি
এসএসডি
না এইচডিডি তে করা যাবে না
কেন?
এইচডিডি তে করলে আমার কি আমার আমার এইচডিডি মানে ফাস্ট আমি সেভেন সুপার রাখি না এইচডিডি বরাবর করতে পারি
আমার তো কথা হবে
তো আপনি কোন আছে না খুব আসামি হিসেবে নিছি টেকনিক্স
কি দিয়ে দেখতে জানি এটা দিয়ে দেখতে জানিস না तो ये DDR4 DDR3
Okay. ठीक है, देखो यहाँ पे the 1000 ports are scanned, okay, and the host is up though. अच्छा, hopefully I am not muted. Yep, okay. Right, so we can see that 10.31, it does not have any open ports in the first 1000 ports, okay. Now there are other ways to perform the scan so that it can scan all the ports, right? We can clearly see here the first 1000 ports are getting scanned, right? Now we can try to bypass this. It is not a bypass though. Basically default it is going to scan 1000 ports. So if you want to scan some more ports, what we can do something like -p-, okay. What it is going to do, it is going to scan all the 65,535 ports, okay, in a given IP address. Let's try to check this one, -p-, okay, and then hit enter. Obviously this is going to take a huge amount of time, okay, because it is going to scan all the ports. This is one of the way to perform port scan. There is another way to perform the same thing. Let's see, it's going to take near about 15 minutes. 1000 ports, port numbers.
So from the result, what we can get?
Nothing. As you can see, nothing is shown over here. Nothing. No port numbers are there. Okay, nothing. No service is running within the first 1000 port numbers. Right. I'm going to just control C this. It is showing you 18 minutes, but later on it will turn into hours. Okay. Another way is -nmap -p from 1 to 65,535. Okay. So this is another range. You can give the range like this. Instead of writing -p-, you can give a range. You can give any number of range. Okay. So this is also going to scan all the ports. All right. Okay. So same stuff. I'm going to control C this. Another way is if you want to scan some particular number of ports. Say for example, if you want to scan just port number 22 and 21 maybe. Okay. You can just give a comma and it will try to check whether these ports are opened or not, right? It is showing you filtered. Okay, there is a meaning behind filtered. I will come. Okay, I won't be. I think we don't have enough time to discuss each and every stuff in this Nmap today. But don't worry, we will discuss in time. Don't worry. So if you see filtered, that means there might be some kind of a firewall that gets implemented in front. Okay. So we might be facing a firewall over here. Okay. There are other ways to bypass the firewall. I will look into that later on. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. So in these three ways, you can perform port level scans. Okay. Either you can scan the complete port numbers, or you can give a range of port numbers, or you can give a comma over there to, identify certain port numbers, right? Now we have seen before this that we do have, wait a minute, let's see if I can get a good IP address here. Let's check, just a minute, let me just check which IP address I have in my VMware. Do I have anything in my VMware? Okay, wait a minute, guys. Do I have anything? Nope. OS, do I have anything? Nope. Okay. What I want to show you guys is, wait, let me just download a lab from here. Don't worry, you guys don't have to do this. I'm just showing you so that you guys get a clear understanding about Nmap. Few of the commands I will be showing it today, and some commands I'll be showing in the next class. Okay. It's gonna take time, I guess.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, সব মাথার উপর দিয়ে চলে গেল।
কোনটা বল?
আপনি যা যা দেখালেন আজকে।
এটা এখন বলছিস? কোথায় প্রবলেম হচ্ছে বল?
মানে স্যার সব না খিচুড়ি হয়ে গেছে।
লিনাক্সের আইডিয়া আছে?
হ্যাঁ ওটা আছে, আপনি ডাউনলোডের পর থেকে যা যা দেখালেন না সব খিচুড়ি হয়ে গেল।
তো সেটা তো বলবি আগে। এখন লাস্টে এসে বললে কি করে হবে? ওকে, কোথায় গিয়ে প্রবলেমটা হয়েছে বল?
আপনি ডাউনলোড করলেন তো, আপনি লিনাক্স ডাউনলোড করার পর আনকমেন্ট আর কমেন্ট করলেন যেগুলো ডাইনামিক আর স্ট্যাটিক চেন, তারপরে যা যা করলেন সব খিচুড়ি হয়ে গেছে।
সেটা তো বলবি, কখন সেটা দেখিয়ে দিয়েছি। আমি এনম্যাপে চলে গেলাম নেট ডিসকভার দেখানোর পর থেকে, কোড দেখিয়ে দিলাম, তারপর এনম্যাপে এলাম। ভিডিও করেছিস কি? এটা রেকর্ডিং আছে?
হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ স্যার আছে আমার কাছে।
আচ্ছা, একটু ওর সাথে শেয়ার করে দিস তো, জাস্ট গো থ্রু দ্য রেকর্ডিং ওয়ান্স अगेन, ঠিক আছে? একবার দেখে নে ওখানে কি করছিস, স্টেপ বাই স্টেপ নিজে একবার কর, দেখবি বুঝতে পেরে যাবি। যদি অসুবিধা হয় তাহলে আমাকে বলিস, আমি নেক্সট ক্লাসে বলে দেবো, ঠিক আছে? ডোন্ট ওয়ারি, এখন তো আর টাইম নেই, একদম লাস্ট মোমেন্টে বলছিস, তাহলে আমি নেক্সট ক্লাসে আর একটু এটা দেখিয়ে দিই, তারপর উই উইল মুভ ফরওয়ার্ড। ওকে, অলরাইট, সো লেটস সি, minimize this. So just a moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to host this machine in here. Wait a minute, let's extract this. It's a Linux based machine. So what I'm going to show you guys is we can actually do a service version scan using Nmap. Okay, with the help of which we can basically identify which version of service is running on that particular port numbers, right? So that is very, very important. You guys will soon see, with the help of the version number, the version of software that is running, we can figure out if it is vulnerable to any kind of attack. Like if it is using an older version of the software, and if any kind of exploit is available, we can use that exploit to attack that particular system. Okay, we will look at that later on. But the very reason for this one is to find out the different versions of software that is running on a particular system, right? So let me just put it over here, and I will just start it with in VirtualBox itself. Just give me a moment. I'll just name this as Metasploitable 2. You guys don't have to do this. This is just for demo.
From the CVE news you can get now which
from CVE news you will find the vulnerability name though, but you will now not get the exploits. Vulnerability है लेकिन exploit नहीं है, कोई फायदा नहीं. Okay. Vulnerabilities should be exploitable, then only it is beneficial to you. Okay, let me just check the IP address over here real quick. 10.26, that is fine. So let's just do a testing on 10.26 over here. So if I do an nmap 192.168.10.26, so as we can see, so many ports are open over here, right? And here we have the services that are running in these particular port numbers, right? We have FTP running over there, we have SSH, we have Telnet, SMTP, HTTP, and so many other ports, other services are running, right? Now, if I want to find out the version of the software that it is using to run this particular service, then we can do something like nmap -s capital V, which is called the version scan in nmap. Okay, -s capital V, and then you can give the IP address of your target machine. Once you do that, it is going to check for all the different version of the services that is running over there. Obviously, it is going to take some time. Itna fast he scan nahi karega. It is going to take some time. As you can see, here we have the versions. Okay, we can basically test out, like say for example, ISC bind 9.4.2. We can check in the internet whether we have any kind of vulnerability or any kind of exploits available for this version of the software. Okay, VSFTPD 2.3.4. We can check in the net whether any kind of exploit is available for this particular version of the software. Okay. Got it? So that is why service version scan is necessary in nmap. Okay. There are other scans as well. Say for example, if I want to scan a particular port number, we can give -p, say 21 I am sending, and -sv, we can combine multiple options over here, and then I can just perform the scan. What this is going to do, this is going to perform a version scan on on that particular port number only. Is it clear? Fine. Okay, so that is what a version scan in nmap is. Okay, so basically I will keep it up to this point here. Okay, in the next class we will look into nmap a little more in depth. Okay, and we will also see how after finding out a vulnerability, how to find a vulnerability first of all, and how after finding out a vulnerability, how we can move towards exploiting it. Okay, we will see that in our next class. Okay, and if possible, अगर Nessus का अगर server ठीक हो गया तो फिर मैं Nessus भी तुम लोग को दिखा दूँ. All right, so आज यहीं तक रखते हैं guys. All right, अच्छा Boishaki, हाँ.
So for normal scripting of these Trojans and which language is used? Python only.
Varies actually. Python can be used, but nowadays if I talk about sophisticated, then they generally use PowerShell or C#. PowerShell or C# mainly.
And what is the use of Bobsuit?
Bobsuit you guys will see over here. I will show you guys. It is basically works as a proxy between you and the server.
Just like Wireshark.
Not Wireshark. Wireshark works on a different level. Wireshark works basically on the packet level. Bobsuit works on application level. Means you can basically see what kind of data you are sending and what response you are getting in clear text. But in Bobsuit you will see that in encrypted form. Because in Wireshark,
you can intercept also.
Because Wireshark works in the network level and Bobsuit works on application level. Right? Okay, so we will look into this later on again in nmap on the next class. Okay. अच्छा बोइशाकी तू एक बार just recording बोइशाकी শুনতে পাচ্ছিস?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
আচ্ছা তুই একবার just recordingটা go through করে নে, ঠিক আছে? যদি available থাকে তোর কাছে, যদি প্রবলেম হয় একবার just নিজে করার চেষ্টা কর, রেকর্ডিংটা দেখে দেখ কি কি কমান্ডস আমি এখানে রান করেছি, আবার ওটাকে কর, তাহলে দেখবি জিনিসটা অনেকটা ক্লিয়ার হয়ে যাবে, ঠিক আছে? যদি না হয়, যদি কোথাও ডাউট হয় আমাকে বলিস, আমি নেক্সট ক্লাসে স্টার্টিংয়েই বলবি, ঠিক আছে? তাহলে আমি বলে দেবো, ওকে? অ্যান্ড ওয়ান মোর থিং ফর অল অফ ইউ গাইজ, if you face any problem anywhere, then and there tell me, sir, এই জায়গাটা বুঝতে পারিনি, okay? I am unable to understand, let me know, because at the end if you tell me, I don't have anything else to do, okay? I won't be able to, you know, recap everything again, okay? বুঝতে পারলি বৈশাখী? যদি কোথাও ডাউট হয় আমাকে তখনই বলে দিবি যে স্যার এই জায়গাটা বুঝতে পারিনি, আর একবার বলুন, ওকে? আদারওয়াইজ কি হয় দেখ, আমি এতটাই গিয়ে
কিছু নোটস প্রোভাইড করুন না, এটা
নোটস তো নেই, notes is not available, okay? Let me talk, okay? Let me talk with the authorities. If ethical hacking what to say, if the ethical hacking क्या बोलते हैं उसको यार, वो reference is available, then I will share with you guys, okay? But that won't be that much beneficial because commands are not written over there. Commands जो भी दिख रहे हो यहीं पे, जो मैं यहाँ पे दिखा रहा हूँ, सब यहाँ पे बुक में यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ काम है, okay? ঠিক আছে, সো ডোন্ট ওয়ারি, উই উইল লুক এট দিস এন্ড চাপ নিস না, বুঝে যাবি, ঠিক আছে? আহামরি কিছুই না, ওকে? ডোন্ট ওয়ারি, ঠিক আছে? চলো, meet you guys in the next class again then, okay? Bye bye, thank you.
নলেজ গেইন করার পরে এক্সাম ওএসসি বিষয় এক্সাম দেওয়ার
এইটার পরে একদমই
এইটার পরে না, মানে লাইক এরপরে অ্যাডভান্স কোর্সটা এখানে করে তারপরে
টাইম লাগবে
না?
সিএইচ দিতে পারিস, সিএইচ তুই দিতে পারিস। দেখ এটা ওয়ার্ক, এইটাই তো চলছে। দিস ইজ জাস্ট এই দেখো, এটাকে এদিকে রাখিং বলে, দ্যাটস ইট, আর নাথিং এলস, ঠিক আছে?
সাইবার সিকিউরিটি তো মেইন তো
সার্টিফিকেশন ইজ ভেরি ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট এন্ড মোর ওভার নলেজ ইজ মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট। এখানে প্রবলেম যেটা হচ্ছে যে দিস এই যে সামার ট্রেনিং যেটা তোদের যে ট্রেনিংটা হচ্ছে, ইট ইজ জাস্ট ইন্ট্রোডাকশন। এই দেখো এটাকে এদিকে রাখিং বলে, এই দেখো এরকম ভাবে হয়, দ্যাটস ইট, ঠিক আছে? বাট দের ইজ সো মেনি থিংস আউট দেয়ার, সো মেনি থিংস। এখানে যে কোনো জিনিস আমি দেখাচ্ছি, এক একটা বলতে পারিস different field of study completely. They are so vast. Okay, এক একটা জিনিস শুধু সাইবার সিকিউরিটি অ্যাজ আ হোল তো ছেড়েই দে, এখানে এক একটা জিনিস যেটা দেখাচ্ছি, সে ফর এক্সাম্পল nmap, you will find anyone hardly মানে expertised in nmap তুই পাওয়া মুশকিল হয়ে যাবে, এত কিছু আছে, ঠিক আছে? এক একটা জিনিসে। সো অত ডেপথে না গিয়ে এবার দেখ, তোকে এবার তার উপরে বিল্ড করতে হবে। এখানে যে ট্রেনিংটা হচ্ছে, এটার পর I will recommend that you go for ethical hacking course, okay? Be it in this institute or anywhere else. You can also do it via YouTube or whatever you guys have, whatever source you have, ঠিক আছে? The main thing is knowledge, that's it, okay? মানে যেখান থেকে খুশি তুই কর, সেটা কোনো ম্যাটার না। করার পরে then you can go for CH, okay? CH examination, global examination, 3 বছর ভ্যালিডিটি থাকে। But if you are planning for going for OSCP, then I will recommend, then you have to do a pretty hard work, okay? কারণ এটা just is the beginning and you are talking about PhD degree, ঠিক আছে? মানে আমি তুই এখন যে স্টেজে আছিস, তুই শিখছিস এটাকে A বলে, A for apple, B for ball is getting learned over here, okay? And if you are talking about doing OSCP, that is PhD degree, okay? So অতটাই ডিফারেন্স। মানে সেটা করতে গেলে তোকে যেটা করতে হবে সেটা হচ্ছে যে এটার পর তুই একটা এথিক্যাল হ্যাকিং কোর্স করলি, ঠিক আছে? তারপর ইউ হ্যাভ টু লার্ন স্পেসিফিক স্টাফ, যেরকম নেটওয়ার্ক পেনিট্রেশন টেস্টিং ইউ হ্যাভ টু লার্ন, web application penetration testing you have to learn, active directory you have to learn, reverse engineering you have to learn. So these 4 things you have to learn, okay? And they are separate field of study, okay? I am talking about, you have to learn chemistry, you have to learn physics, you have to learn biology, okay? Like this, they have separate field of studies. So সেগুলো শেখার পরে then you can go for OSCP.
আর প্র্যাকটিসের জন্য ট্রাই হ্যাক মি, হ্যাক দ্য বক্স,
একদম ট্রাই হ্যাক মি, হ্যাক দ্য বক্স। ট্রাই হ্যাক মি আমি বলবো ইনিশিয়ালি, তার কারণ হচ্ছে ট্রাই হ্যাক মি খুব ইউজার ফ্রেন্ডলি, একদম হাতে ধরে করায়, জিনিসটাকে বুঝতে পারবি কি করে অ্যাটাকটা হচ্ছে, একদম লাইন বাই লাইন তোকে বলবে, ঠিক আছে? দেন ইউ ক্যান মুভ অন টু টাফার লাইক বালান হাব অর হ্যাক দ্য বক্স, ওকে? ডিরেক্ট যদি হ্যাক দ্য বক্স থেকে চালু করিস, কিচ্ছু ঢুকবে না, কিচ্ছু করতে পারবে না, ওটা অনেক ডিফিকাল্ট, অনেক বেশি ডিফিকাল্ট। ওখানে যেগুলো ইজি লেখা থাকে, ইজি মানে হচ্ছে এগুলো যথেষ্ট ডিফিকাল্ট, ঠিক আছে? ঠিক আছে গাইস, থ্যাংক ইউ, বাই বাই।
Thank you.
Okay.
হ্যাঁ।